A popular saying is nothing ye ever lost on the internet, but what is something you have been searching for years and you haven't found it yet? An Antique Roadshow episode where the appraiser asked the owner if they had cleaned a priceless Milanese helm. They responded, "I hit it with a Lil Lemon pledge," and the appraiser visibly shivers. There was this game on Windows 3.1 similar to the board game Life. You allocated time each day to studies, work, and rec in order not end up a bum on the street or dead. All the shitty Fruity Loops music I made in my early 20s that was on MySpace. I tried to find the browser games I played when I was a kid. Some of them no longer exist. https://lostmediawiki.com Postopia partially found online games, 2001 to 2011. Around 1999 I had borrowed a digital camera from school and took a lot of pictures of friends and stuff. It was back when people really didn't carry around cameras except for special activities. I remember uploading them to my brother's university Unix shell account to share with some people, but when he graduated and that account closed I lost access and didn't have any backups. Really wish I still had those photos. Nobody has them. Around 12 to 13 years ago, I got into StumbleUpon, which was a Firefox extension that adds a button to your screen that takes you to a random page that someone marked as interesting. Once, I found a flash animation that portrayed a recreation of a white hat hacker doing a penetration test on a web application. The whole thing was a Linux command shell without any GUI. It started with an IRC chat where someone asks the hacker to look into his application and send him a URL and another URL for the source code. After a sped-up 3 minutes of curl, grep, and SSH, the hacker built a command line script that can pull any username and email from the site. Never found it again. Thanks Ozamiak for finding the video. It's called Zero Day https://www.youtube.com watch. VQB80G7A by Mil0RM. What color is Griglin Gray? Grandfather always talked about painting his house Griglin Gray, but I can find no reference for it. An electronic copy of the Machine Gun Dealer's Bible, which I bet a coworker years ago I could find. In an effort to prevent myself from owing him $5, I am still looking for it. In 2003, there was a commercial for I Think E-Trade where a CEO retires and hands the company over to a stoner bro grandson whose entire press conference is him saying "I'm so stoked." Everyone dumps the stock immediately and the ad was about how quickly you could trade using E-Trade. My family loved that commercial to the point where we had shirts made that said "I'm so stoked." I have looked through a lot of commercial compilations in YouTube, but have still never found that ad. Edit 2, huge kudos to you Bunjali for finding it into the National Film Board https://www.nfb.cap playlist Sandy Smoking Films Playback number 1, for keeping it. This one comes from my mom, a Canadian, or American, based in Ontario, so we got NES channels, anti-smoking cartoon from the 70s or 80s, where a guy is smoking and says I should quit. This will be my last cigarette if I see a woman in a fur coat. And one immediately walks by, so he says, wearing green shoes. And one does, and then walking a dog. On a diamond leash. Actually, it was a tiger. And then when a woman in a fur coat wearing green shoes walking a tiger on a diamond leash walks by, he crushes his cigarette up and the tagline goes, "What will it take for you to quit?" Been looking for it for ages and haven't been able to find it yet. Edit. Put in proper sequence, and clarified that it could have been on Canadian or American television, based in Ontario. There was a quote that I read on the title of a post that went something like, "Just because you've gone down 90% doesn't mean you can't go down another 90%. It's related to the stock market and can also apply to life." I've wanted to find out who said that for the longest. A short comedy sketch where a guy dies after calling in sick to work. Con Air was on the TV when detectives found the body, so they assumed he was a massive Nicolas Cage fan, and the dead guy has to watch all his friends judge his love of Nicolas Cage from the afterlife. Then his guardian angel appears in the form God thinks he'd love most, Nicolas Cage from Con Air. I used to watch it all the time years ago and now can't find it anywhere. Edit solved-ish. Thanks to the folks below, it's a college humor sketch called The Second Most Embarrassing Way to Die. Unfortunately all sites that hosted it only have dead links so far. Still digging for it. Edit 2 solved. Warm Charles found it. Starts around 4:30. https vimeo.com 105654143. This video I think I found on Vimeo of these guys working at a bong shipping facility. Apparently a customer requested a video of the process of putting together their new order for shipping. These two guys put together a great video with them dancing to Maniac by Michael Sembello throughout it. I'd love anyone who can find what I'm talking about. A flash animation video of O.J. Simpson playing golf and killing small animals, talking about how the liberal media has besmirched his name. Edit, Tigger0JK has found it. https www.reddit.com AskReddit comments E98 Chma populaire saying it's no thing he ever lost in the Fay A1 Wime, please shower him with fake internet points and coins. Edit 2, for visibility, Tigger0JK. Happy to help. I just love Flash, and people are working hard to preserve old Flash content. I will take this opportunity to share the Flash games post-mortem. John Cooney GDC 2017 https www.youtube.com watch V65CRLKNQR0E. If you care about preserving Flash content you can support Ruffle https github.com sponsor Shershel, an open-source Flash player emulator, which Newgrounds will soon use https twitter.com tomflp status 1202210664653185024 to allow playing old Flash games in the browser without Flash Player. A computer game I played as a kid. I remember very little of it, but it was one of the things I remember most of my childhood. This would have been circa the mid-90s, Windows 95 era, and it was a ROM game or something that came with the computer. All it was these little scenes you could choose, and then you click on different things and they become animated. The one I remember most was a creepy castle scene. You click on a window and a pair of red eyes appeared in it. You click the sky and there'd be thunder and lightning. If anyone has any recollection of this, please let me know. This is my biggest internet white whale. Edit, wait, I'm the top comment in a thread with 28,000 comments? Damn. I owe you all one of the best glasses of sweet tea you'll ever have. Stop by sometime. Giant thanks to a detective X for helping me figure out something I have spent years searching for. That song I can kinda hum, but only know one word to, and to Google song lyrics plus love would clearly be ridiculous. The full series of Pirates of Dark Water. Edit, for those posting torrent links, I appreciate it but I'm on mobile as my laptop is DOA. Edit 2, apparently I can torrent on my phone. So I will have to get an SD card with a lot of storage and check this out ASAP. Edit 3, wow, thanks everybody, this is officially my highest upvoted comment ever. Yo, this girl posted to Reddit years and years ago about having to be hospitalized because she used a spicy sausage to masturbate with. I have no idea how to find that. The video of that news anchor show host lady who committed suicide live on air in the 80s. Also, the music video to Sphemerica by Sina M. Edit, the music video has been found, courtesy of Ointment Moist. Where the quote I wanted 16 candles Molly Ringwald, not pretty in pink Molly Ringwald, comes from. I don't know if anyone will be able to find this, but it's worth a try. Sometime around 6 years ago I was hanging out with friends and they decided to put on a horror movie. I was almost certain it was on Netflix but I could be wrong. The movie was an Asian horror, but I can't remember which, though I think it was Japanese. The plot was interesting in that it was about an actress who gets a role in a movie about a real-life murder that had made the news years ago. The actress plays the girl that was murdered, but she is great at the role because she was the girl that was murdered in her past life, and she's reincarnated. So creepy shit and memories flood back as she's filming this movie. Anyway, I've looked up everything I could and have found absolutely nothing, so I'm starting to think the movie doesn't exist. Someone tell me it does. Edit. Thank you guys. It's called Reincarnation, 2005. You ever have a vague memory of something and thought it might have just been a dream, but then discover a video or pictures of it later and it feels surreal? That's how I just felt watching the trailer. Lol. A quote from a book, maybe Lundy Bancroft? About how to get a friend out of an abusive relationship. I want the original source. I believe it was in a QA format that ran a bit like this in ideas, but not phrasing. Q. My friend is in an abusive relationship, but she won't allow us to help her leave it. How do we safely get her out? A. You don't. You need to offer her the opposite of what her abuser is, choices. Allow her to socialize with whom she wishes, even her abuser, because he's probably isolating her. Forgive her for being flaky, because he may not be. Allow her to choose for herself even if you disagree with the choice, because that's the opposite of what he's doing. She has to decide to leave by herself.